back, and we're going to start this session. Anybody want to start off with a session recap? Does anybody feel? I know it's been 2 weeks. We've missed last week, so does anybody want to just give me a generalization other than what's in the story so far? I mean, you don't
You
have to. It's
sound.
fine.
I'm trying to remember now. So we traveled along with our caravan with the dwarf whose name slips my mind, Belger. And then horse got sick. We helped fix horse with help of crazy druid lady who used some of my power to do so. Or
Azamina.
Nazmina, yeah. I'm obviously glossing over like the bear and everything, but that's minor stuff. And then I had to go to a pond.
Oh no! Don't gloss over y'all's intimidation thing with the wolves.
I mean, it worked.
Can't
We
fault that
intimidated.
logic.
Yeah, we intimidated some wolves, scared them away from a baby bear, made Mama Bear like us, or I think. Kind of.
Completely indifferent to you.
Yeah.
They'll still eat you.
But at the very least, we are now on our way with a new. Roberio at least has a desire in his mind, but no means to complete the said desire. So we'll see how that one goes.
Yeah, so we basically like last left off as y'all were leaving like the part of the forest after the encounter that happened when the calling brought you to that pond that was being kind of tainted by the decaying bodies. And y'all took some time to bury him and left the forest and met back up with Belgar and the caravan, and it was about 2 to 3 days travel after that that he said y'all would be making it to Falcons Hollow. Within that time, nothing of note would happen, because the closer you get to town, the less likely something's going to happen to such a large group of people. Let me see. So y'all actually make it to the other side of the river to Falcons Hollow at night, and
At night or in the morning?
they will come into town at night. Hold on a second. I don't know why it's not showing you this. There. Okay. So yeah, y'all come to Falcons Hollow. It's like it's a town obviously off of you see a bunch of lumber logs going down through the river and whatnot. And it's got some fair activity for nighttime. It looks to be like a larger town with a little bit of activity. There's a ferry that once y'all come up to the river, there's active ferries ferrying people across into town. Belgar will kind of go up to somebody he's used to talking to because he does a lot of traveling back and forth from Pyron's Bluff and into Falcons Hollow and other areas, and he'll get you guys set up and y'all will ferry over. So,
all right.
Once y'all get into there, hold on. So yeah, y'all end up getting into town. He has a place he wants to go and take his stuff and like for the night and whatnot. He welcomes y'all to sleep, out there with him. It's basically no better than kind of an open stables. But if you want, the luxury of a bed in an inn or something, that's on your own. He ain't gonna pay for that. He'll tell you, the place of note. He knows where to go.
Are we getting paid for completing the job?
Yeah, He says, yeah, if you are not, sticking around after, tonight, then he'll pay you right now if you want to get paid out for the product.
I
So
mean,
that's dependent if you guys want to stay and go or whatnot. But yeah, you're getting paid 25 gold each for this.
is he offering us another job?
He plans going back to Pirate's Bluff. You welcome your company again, but that's up to you guys.
I don't think going back there would be a good idea for us.
Yeah, y'all's whole point is to kind of get out of the.
Yeah. Does he? Did we? Is Belgar aware of our situation? I don't think we ever told him.
That just depends on whether or not y'all would open your mouths.
Yeah, I'd say we didn't tell him.
Yeah, no, I mean he's very appreciative. He thinks you guys did a great job. Obviously, y'all, because you have some training and discipline with a mercenary company, like y'all seemed like soldiers. So, he just took y'all's at y'all's word, and you felt like y'all proved your merit. He paid you, with no qualms. He was happy to give the money. He said anytime, if you need work and he's around, just ask.
All right.
So the question is, as a group, Amy is there with you. Let's just make that clear.
Right.
Amy is there with you. She's just going to go along with whatever you guys say. So do y'all want to spend the money and get a room, or do y'all want to, just take the night in and sleep in here? Sleep out. It's kind of like, here when you come into town, like there's a lot of open buildings because like a lot of trees are being, shaven and whatnot here. So there's a huge amount of like canopy type buildings, and he's got this one area where he went and talked to somebody. He knocked on the door, came out, and the guy pointed over there. So he usually, like when he comes up here, he has like a setup that it's kind of sleeping out in the open. A barn's actually like not even a good description of it. You're literally sleeping under a canopy that Belgar uses for when he brings his goods in.
How much is a room?
Hold on. So if you go and you look for a room.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go look for a room.
You'll notice prices here are a little higher, so they'd be on average about 20% higher, actually. 15% higher, sorry. So you'd probably be paying about, I would think, around 6 gold pieces.
For like total each, or is that total for everyone?
Oh, sorry, hold on. Common, so 5 silver pieces. So yeah, I was looking at a good end. Never mind. So yeah, so 5. We'll say a gold each.
Okay. So it's about upper middle.
Well, no, the room itself is common. Like it's not a great room, but what you're paying for is a little bit higher.
I'm gonna stay at the inn.
Yeah.
Okay, so either way, make sure you give yourself 25 gold for escorting the caravan. Like, get your money, put it in your inventory. That's each, obviously.
Yep. I have. And I assume, does that cover food as well?
That will cover a meal.
Okay.
Yeah. So you said y'all go to the inn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna be looking for work around here, then obviously we're gonna need to start somewhere.
All right. Well, when you go in, he tells you to go see Jack. He runs Jackanapes. He's got an inn. So you'll go there since it's night. Like you come in. Hold on, let me pull you guys over.
Haspel inquire why the prices are so high.
So like when you ask him about that, and he says, well, the prices are what the prices are based upon the taxes in the town. He says, and the taxes in the town are pretty high.
Who says that?
That would be Jack, the guy you're introduced to. He runs the place. Hold on, let me pull you to it. All right, yeah. You come in like he's got a little bottom level where obviously he has places for people to sit and eat and whatnot, and he'll show you to the rooms upstairs. It's just a little room.
What's the inn called?
Jack and Apes.
So
I'd like to make a sense motive to see if he's telling the whole truth about that.
All right, go ahead and roll it. He doesn't seem like he's hiding anything. He doesn't also sound like, he's agrees with it. Like it seems to rub him the wrong way when you bring it up.
So it's not like he's like trying to con us out of extra money. It's like legitimate.
Yeah, you don't get that feeling. You'll notice, like as you came into town, even at night, like there's, on the outside of town, like, well, y'all didn't come in through the regular road. Y'all came through the ferry. Like there's obviously like more beggars and more poor people, like on the streets and whatnot at night. It does, you get the feeling that it's more of a downtrodden, town.
Wait, so like there's clearly poverty, but they're able to sustain an economy from high prices? That sounds very strange.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome to America.
yeah, that's fair.
Once we have our meals and are sitting for them, Asp will look at the others. Well, I think we might be able to find some decent work around this place if we're judging by the cost of this common inn.
Yeah, is there a job board posted here in the inn, or?
A job board? What's that?
It's like, well, there's people, there's actually a town center where people post some things they need, but more often than not, there's the lumber consortium is always hiring. They always need more people. If you could swing an axe, you could make a day's labor.
Is someone saying this?
Yeah, Jack is.
Oh, is he just sitting with us?
Well, he's down here, like, I'm assuming this conversation's taking place, like, as you're, paying for your inn and whatnot.
No. It's privately when we're all sitting together and eating, as I stated.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that. All right.
Yeah, when I was asking about a job board, because a lot of times, like in small places, the inn is a place where like everybody gathers or more people gather. So, like if somebody's gonna put a job posting, sometimes there's gonna be a wall in the inn where job postings are.
I take it that most people, well, this is one of many inns in town because it's relatively small.
When you come in, like, okay, so if you pay for, you pay for your room, he tells you it's upstairs, and he just goes about his business. He asks if there's anything you need for the night or whatnot, all that kind of stuff. But if you leave him, to his business, he'll go about his business. So if you have any more questions, you can ask him because he comes about and whatnot. But it is getting, kind of late, so he'll eventually like settle in and like kind of go about do his thing. So just keep that in mind. Like Jack's coming and going, doing stuff, straightening chairs, cleaning up as the time goes on. If you're just sitting around having a conversation to yourself, that's fine. Argento's character token is here just so he could see the map and what's going on, but obviously he's not here yet.
Yeah, Asp is just talking with the rest of the party.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
So again, like, if we look around, we might be able to find some decently paying work with the way economy is around here. Does seem to be an extraordinary amount of poor people for some place that charges a gold for a night at the inn.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be able to find whoever runs this place. Or if we investigate or explore the town, we'll be able to find somebody with a problem. I figure we don't want to make too big of a name for ourselves, but solving problems puts gold and meals on the table.
Yeah, we
Well-
do need to keep a low profile for a little while anyway.
True enough, but at the same time, without making a name for ourselves, we do need, like you did say, money is an important thing, and if we do want to get the money we need, a name might come.
Well, old man, if you maybe your memory's going with your age, but you do remember that we're being hunted, right? It's possible we could reinvent ourselves here, but
I'm
how
well
would we do
aware
that?
There's Amy.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm well aware that we are being hunted. What I'm saying is that the big money comes from making a name, unfortunately.
well, I mean, I guess to be fair, we weren't very well known in the mercenary group in the begin with, right?
Well known enough that we have to hide.
True.
I doubt, to a point, I doubt he would go after some low-ranking stragglers.
Old man, it seems you've forgotten exactly what lengths he'll go to.
His priority wouldn't be with some nobodies.
It very
That's
much
what I'm
is.
saying.
It's evidence.
Yeah, we are evidence of the betrayal.
It's the reason why we're keeping our heads down. Again, we could look for work, but we'll have to reinvent ourselves. Who we are, where we came from, why we're doing this. Maybe setting roots in this community would establish us. Solving a problem and disassociating from our past lives.
That's not something so easily done.
Ass raises an eyebrow. Oh?
Sure it is. My name's not Sebastian anymore. It's Jonathan.
If you can't, you have to live with your history, regardless. You cannot just leave what you were.
Ass scoffs. What a preposterous notion. No one here knows who we are. We find good enough work, establish roots, well, we could be heroes to this place. And associated with this place, and not any before.
And
A
then
good
when it comes down to it, we can later avenge our brothers.
Of course, especially if we turn this community to support us. If they'll protect us, then, well, it'll be a bit harder to get rid of us. To entrench ourselves, we have to find a major issue. Once we find the major issue, we have to solve it. But we also have to determine a story on who we are and why we're doing it. Tying ourselves to this place could be fortuitous.
Ribery just sighs.
This place is called what? Falcons Hollow? I think associating with the word falcon might be a bit too on the nose. Or we could just take it and know it between us that it's a throwback to who we were.
And what do the others think?
All right, on that, I'm gonna pause. Amy, since you weren't here, basically, the only thing you really missed is like y'all have made it to Falcons Hollow, and y'all have come in. You've made 25 gold pieces for guarding the caravan, so put that on your character sheet. And y'all are in Jack and Apes. It's just a local inn. Y'all are rented rooms for the night. There's a gold piece each. And y'all are just basically having a discussion about, where to go from here, like what to do. So that's where the conversation has led.
Oh, okay.
So y'all are just sitting around. Argentum is in the corner. His token, you can see him, but he's not there. He has to have vision on the map.
Oh, okay.
So that's just where we're at. So I just wanted you to know, like, I know you don't know what's going on. So
okay, no, I appreciate that.
All right. Yeah.
Let me just kind of consider this from others as people are talking. As a conversation kind of gets shifted in her direction, she'll say, "How long do we want to keep running? We're not exactly craftsmen or laborers or whatever else. We have a particular skill set, and fleeing from that is going to put us in a very strange position. And even then, I don't think we're ever going to be done running if that's what we intend to do." Personally,
Good.
Well, I don't think it's worthwhile to advertise who we are and where we've been. I'd say it's reasonable to grab what work we can. Just keep our prior work history to ourselves, and I doubt we'll get famous enough that our image will spread far and wide. And even if it did, if the people looking for us have a reference on every single one of us, well, they'll track us down anyway.
I'll put my ear to the ground, see if I can't hear of any. Well, I may not be able to make money via certain ways. I know of one way I can. I can always go back to competing like I used to.
Sebastian, you've been awfully quiet. What's your take on this?
I already said, like, we can take up new names, we can take up new identities, whatever. But in the end, when it comes down to it, when it comes time for us to avenge our brothers, we need to do it.
Right, so on the morrow, I guess we'll split up, investigate the town, see if there's any figures of note or any trouble that needs shooting.
Roberto just nods. I'll see if I can't find any competitions to participate in, earn some prize money that way.
Well, we'll meet back here for noon and perhaps dusk. Just we'll share our findings.
All right.
Sounds good.
So this conversation has taken place the night of, right? Not the morning after?
Yeah.
The night of.
Okay, so y'all go to y'all's rooms, y'all get like a, off-the-road fucking rest in a bed.
Yep.
Glorious.
There is a washroom available, so you guys can wash. It's like a single washroom. It's not like a private one in your room and whatnot, any of that kind of stuff going on. So I don't know if your character has like, a trope where they just love to be clean, That's something that is accessible here.
Yeah.
The life of a soldier, when you can get clean, you do get clean.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a line there.
Roberio definitely takes part.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a line there. Probably a Roberto versus Amy arm wrestling match is being the biggest. They try to just cut the line. There's a decision made of who gets to cut the line.
Who gets to go before the other? Yeah.
We're having an arm wrestling competition.
All right, roll strength.
I don't think I would.
No, just the two of us, and then you two cut the line while we're arguing. It's kind of our dynamic.
Wrestling, and they just shake their heads and go step ahead.
Exactly.
Damn.
By the time we're done, both of you are finished. So it's just whoever gets to go third.
Yeah,
Roberto's
I rolled poorly.
Roberto's muscles are all tight from the road.
Yeah,
Did you roll a 1 or a 2?
I did.
Hey,
I
no,
No, you
rolled
rolled
a
a
2.
2.
Get that 2 out of the
I,
way, though.
I rolled a
Technically,
2.
my strength mod is higher than yours, which is kind of weird.
Mine
Oh
is
my
2.
god, what the fuck?
I continue to win.
Roberto's just getting wrecked.
Okay, now he comes back. Now it's 2 against 1. And then I win.
Yeah, like so every time like one loses, one wins. Like you're like, all right, best 2 out of 5, best 3 out of 6. Or
And
whatever.
so
Just keep
yeah,
going.
so they just keep going, and then we end up getting out of the thing, out of the bath, and I come up to them and just help one of them win. Be like, it's over, go.
It just kind of stretches a bit, kind of gives him one of his own flexes back at him, like, yeah, bitch, what you gonna do about it? In a typical sarcastic, cocky manner, before heading up.
And then I proceed to sleep.
Ruberio is just, I mean, he's fine with it. He doesn't care. Competition is part of Ruberio's life, win or lose.
And losing to a giant orc chick is, it's not exactly embarrassing.
No.
You sure?
No.
I guess you didn't flex enough.
You got outflexed.
Oh, you have no idea how good I can flex. I have the flexing arm trait.
Clearly not strong enough.
Like not like
Yeah.
No.
not
What
in
did
the bath line.
No, it's funny because it lets me use my strength modifier for escape artist checks. I literally break bonds by flexing.
Nice. Okay. So you guys bathe. You guys get whatever's left of the meal that was available at dinner time, if there's any food on the fireplace there'd be a pot probably of some kind of stew and whatnot. You guys get good night's rest coming off of the long journey on the road. You wake up refreshed and clean. Everybody's this is gonna be a couple of some downtime time. As you choose to go about the town and figure out, you each have kind of an agenda, or a way to do it. Keep in mind, since you're going to spend a lot of time doing this, you could take a 20 if you want to just roll gather information and kind of go about and ask about the town and whatnot and figure that out. So I know Roberio said you're going to go and look for tournaments of strength and some kind of challenge or competition.
So if there's a boxing ring or something, he'll take part basically.
I mean, there are some underground kind of events like that. This town is it's a kind of out there town because it's so far away from
right.
Everything else. So they need to do stuff to entertain themselves and blow off steam. As you're going about the town, and especially in the morning time, I'm gonna do this with each one of you individually. I know Roberio, that's how you're going to go about getting yourself out there. What you'll notice is the poverty during the daytime is a lot worse, but the town is also bustling with activity and employment. You see when you wake up in the morning, just the sounds as you come out of the inn of the whole cut yard and the lumber yard and whatnot, it's just huge. There's constant sounds of metal hitting wood and people yelling and barking orders and all that kind of stuff. So the town itself is not dead. It's just like you've noticed, with the innkeeper being a little disgruntled about the taxes, and there's a lot of people that are just they choose to beg instead of go cut wood, shit like that. So Roberio, that's your kind of way you're going to go about the town. Amy, how are you going to go about and look around and investigate things?
Amy's very much used to always being a figure that kind of sticks out, so she takes no real subtlety in any regards. Doesn't really see much of a point to it. However, she also is very forthright. So she's likely just to go and just pick up some day labor, probably at the lumber yard. After all, that is kind of her. Before signing on with mercenaries, and well, before that, a bit of banditry, she was a lumberjack. That's kind of how she grew up. So it's a skill set she has. So she'd go pick up some day labor there, probably chat up some of her fellow like workers just as things are going along, and just kind of get a feel for what it's like to live in this village, just as an average, worker.
Okay. With with that seems fair enough, and like you're a bigger, creature. You're half orc, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You will get a little bit of hesitation. You would think it'd be easy to get some work, but you're gonna have some people like, no, we're full. Obviously you're used to that from a lot of closed-minded, especially like, redneck hicks, whatever you want to call them.
Humans.
But work, they need so much work. Like eventually, some guy just says, "All right, fine," And when he offers you the pay, like what you understand for like a good common day's pay, it seems like a little lower than it should be. Yeah. So the question is, roll a sense motive if you have it on that.
Dude, I have a lot of things. I might look like the barbarian of the group, but I am in fact the rogue. So let's see here. I got skills and skills and skills.
A battle axe rogue. You don't get the feeling that it's based upon your race. That just you don't feel like you're being outed when it or you don't feel like you're being shafted. Like you just you assume this guy's giving you what he gives everybody else. But it still just seems like a little low for like a hard day's labor.
Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking about that, but then I'm gonna kind of look over to like the other workers effectively, and kind of what I'm looking for to kind of gauge how well someone is working, or like how well this job is kind of paying for others. See the people who look like they've been here a long time, and just see kind of how like are their boots new, like do they look well fed, are they like other breaks taken, like that sort of thing, just to kind of get a general feel if everyone is just kind of busting their ass to make ends meet, or if it's just like the new person getting shafted.
Okay.
But I wouldn't argue about the pay. It's just a couple of coins to feed myself tonight, so that's all I'm really looking for.
Yeah, I think like I can't remember what the general pay in like for a day's labor is. It 5 silver pieces?
It's not
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
So
we could just say like that's my room and board at the end.
It would be 4 silver pieces then, is basically what you're gonna receive. It's usually it's about 20% less than what you would think. And I know this is like a general everybody like kind of only wants to deal with gold pieces since they're silver pieces, platinum pieces, copper pieces. Don't get me wrong, I get it, but the default economy is like in Pathfinder.
Oh yeah, no, I perfectly understand. Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyways.
Yeah, no, some people are worried about that, but yeah, no, I got it. You're good.
So that being said, what you notice when you do like look into that kind of stuff is the people that are working, like they don't look sickly. Like these are people that the people that are out there that are choosing to work. They are lumberers for for their trade, and they are sturdy, hard work built men and whatnot. But they're not, I wouldn't say they're like burly and overfed either. So, but they're yes, their clothes do seem a little bit like more on the common, I'm not gonna say potato sack side, but very plain. Boots worn. The only thing that out when you're looking at it, when you're looking at them, the only thing that ever look like new and well taken care of are the axes, and they are accounted for too. Like so when you go to work, he asks you if you have an axe of your own. You said no, then it's like we provide it. There's an axe tax, stuff like that.
That's actually funny. I technically do.
Oh yeah, you do. So, but I don't think you'd want to use a battle axe like for all day labor. Like that's not something you'd actually want to do. You have
Actually, let me see. Did I? Hold on. I think I had a smaller one. No, I didn't. Yeah, no. So I probably would have had to borrow. Well, it depends really what I'm doing. So I'm cutting down trees. It's fine to use my axe, but if I'm doing it,
you're not cutting trees down here.
Yeah.
Because that's that's up in like the Darkmoon Woods. Here you would
Yeah,
go like
so I'd have to
and
borrow
stuff
something
like that.
smaller.
Yeah, so that is something you notice. Like the tools are new and taken care of, but they're also like they're very much accounted for. Like you do not get paid if you don't return your tools. Like they're keeping an eye on that kind of stuff. So like that's the
Yeah.
feel you get as you're going about the day and whatnot. If you strike up any conversations, anybody that will decide to talk to you, you're going to have people that just choose not to associate with you. They give you a side look and just kind of ignore you.
Fair enough.
So the question is, like, do you have any generalized questions that you'll ask as you go about the day, or do you just kind of do your labor and just kind of keep your eye out?
I just kind of keep my eye up, but I'm also looking to see, like, is this like a pure human town?
Yeah, it's mostly humans.
Okay, fair enough then. So I'd probably just ask like very general questions of like someone who's new to town, like, is there any decent place to get a drink after shift? Uh, Anything a newcomer should know about, that sort of shit. Who's in charge, like around here, like, any taxes I gotta be aware of, that kind of shit. But it wouldn't just be like I sit and interrogate somebody. It's more just a question here, a question there. If somebody like catch somebody's eye, like they're willing to actually talk to me between like small talk.
Yeah, yeah. You'll be told the Sitting Duck is where most people go to get a drink. That's pretty much they'll tell you that's on the north side of town and then whatnot. They'll tell you. Let's see. Yeah, they'll also mention if you need a place to stay. They'll mention Jackanapes or some other person that rents out their barn, but you already know about that. What was your other question?
Like who's in charge here, and like is there like particular taxes I need to be aware of, that kind of shit.
Oh, they say like yeah, who's in charge? They'll say, well, it says that's a matter of opinion. Depends on who you think's in charge. Vamrus, he's the town mayor, but if anybody's in charge, it'd be Thuldrin. But the law around here, that's Delson. They call him sheriff. As the taxes, like, yeah, I mean, there's taxes for everything. And like, taxes is a sore subject whenever you bring that up. Like people.
Yeah,
Get
so I
frustrated.
kind of pick that up enough to be like, okay, I'll let that one sit for the moment.
But that's the general answers. You'll get to that. Oh,
Fair enough.
they'll tell you a guy by the name of Payday. He runs the town guards. He's Thuldrin's right hand man. Like the term lackey's used actually.
I just kind of like chuckle a little bit, but in a very like quite like in a very like almost tragic sort of way. Like, yeah, I think I already know him, and I've not even seen him yet. This is a very on the nose name for somebody's lackey. But yeah, no. So I just put my head down and go about my work.
All right. Sebastian, how do you go about your day?
I was gonna be going around and basically trying to figure out where the town guard and everything hangs out, and just kind of maybe talk to them and see how gather information about the town and everything. See if the current standings of the town and what's going on.
Okay, well, I mean, like the Falcons Hollow itself has like I think 3 points of entry and exit. It's got it sits alongside a river, so it does have a wood I don't know if the word palisade or like kind of town gate is around it, and there are guards at the entrances to each one, and then obviously like some town guards kind of like wander about the town and whatnot. So when you ask like where they hang out, like obviously they have their own like little kind of barracks and whatnot, but like when it comes to where they hang out after work, is that what you're more asking?
Yeah, well, I just want to like talk to them and get to know them first. Like, say I'm like an adventurer and everything, looking for work, and we came across this town. We're looking to settle down in this town, and I may end up being interested in joining the town guard. I don't know. Who knows? I'm a soldier.
You're told to talk to Payday if you want to try to apply for the town guard. Other than that, like I mean, when they get off work, they go to they like to go to the Sitting Duck. Sitting Duck's the most popular bar. It's actually it's closer to their barracks, so that they do frequent it a lot. But there is another bar, another smaller bar on the more east side of town. But the lumberjacks use that more, and they don't seem to care for it. That's the Drowned Nymph.
Drowned Nymph.
Yeah, so those are pretty much the places you get when it comes to those kind of things.
It looks like I'm going to be going to the Sitting Duck.
Are you going like in the middle of the day?
No.
Okay.
No.
I mean, we can go.
Yeah, probably make the barkeep stay, but that's about it.
No, I'll be going there at night just to kind of sit, gather information. When I'm observing the town guards, though, do they all seem like they're passionate about their job, or do they all seem like this job is like the worst thing in the world? Or
no, like you would see like as you kind of notice and walk around during the day, you would like if you want to do like a kind of a level index, like they're happy with their job, but they're also a little bit authoritative. Like they're a little.
They're pushy.
They're pushy and they're really full of themselves.
They're more thug than guard.
Yeah, to a certain degree.
Okay. Well, it's probably getting close to noon, so we're probably going to be heading back to meet up at the first bar that we were at.
No, y'all were at an inn. That wasn't a bar.
The inn, yeah.
Yeah, not all inns have bars in them. They're not all connected.
We said we were
going
to meet at noon, so I guess I'll head back that way.
Well, I mean, Amy won't be able to make it back at noon. Like a day's worth of work, she ain't coming back till dark.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, but that's kind of what I was expecting.
She got stuck out there for 4 silver pieces, chopping away, cutting down wood. All right, so.
Honest days.
Hold on. Okay, Asp. When you're out doing your thing, all right. I'll. You want me to address that to you directly?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Roberio, I don't want you to feel like I skipped you. I just wanted to get kind of that out of the way.
No worries.
Hold on one second. My wife's talking to me.
How dare you?
Like as soon as I try to address you, like what? Go quiet. Walk away. No. Yeah. So like during the daytime, like you're not like the town's working, it's active, it's busy. Like you came in at night and there were still people working, but obviously it's not as lively as like the daytime is and whatnot. So you don't really find the means to do those kind of things right now. So if you're asking about those things, like they'll tell you like yeah, there's like a there's a little like kind of we have some kind of boxing matches at this area, and they'll tell you like a certain time. So is there any other things you look for as you go through the town?
Then this was for me again. Sorry.
Yeah. Because
I spaced for like a half a second there.
Yeah, I just don't want to feel because I asked you what you're doing and I didn't give you like any generalization or whatnot. I just said what you're doing and moved on, and then I start generalizing with Amy. So.
No, overall, I mean, I am keeping my ear to the ground. I'm just kind of exploring the city at this point. I think
Okay.
just
So
getting the general layout, trying to figure out good areas, bad areas, so on and so forth.
okay, hold on a second. Let me see. Let me see if I can
It's
find
quite
this.
obvious. I'm not hiding the fact that I'm a priest or of a Kyrgyz or anything like that. Like, I'm wearing my holy symbol proudly. So if anyone ever makes note of that, I kind of, you know, blessings of Kyrgyz upon you and all that crap. But I'm just
Okay.
kind of keeping my ear to the ground and
All right.
seeing what happens.
So
Proud follower and all that crap.
So just so you understand, when you kind of come in during the daytime, or I guess I didn't make it clear when you came in at night. There is obviously there's laws in the town, and no magic is
Right.
a law in the town.
Okay.
So like you being a worshiper, like that's fine. I'm sure you've dealt with this in other some other towns or whatnot. It's not
Yeah.
an uncommon thing. So they
No, not at all.
That there's fines for using magic and jail time. So that being said, like you're going around just saying like giving people general kind of greetings and kind
I'm
of
not
asking
casting
about the
bless on them or anything. Don't worry.
well, I mean, so other than that, like I'll give you some general info that you'll get because, like I said, at whatever means you want to do to investigate the town, since you're going to be doing
Right.
it all day, I'm gonna let you take 20s or 10s or however you want to. Basically, you're gonna get a max rollout. Obviously,
Yeah.
if you want to try to really investigate, like if there's an underground like a mafia or like you obviously can kind of tell like there's an overwhelming or not like overwhelming, but there is a kind of a boot on the heels of the town with just the feel you get from being here from a day. Like if you really want to investigate the get deep into that you're not going to get that with this investigation. That'll lead down a different role. So giving you the generalizations of the town, like, and especially with you walking around and just like kind of exploring the town all day, I'm going to give you an overmap of it. I'm going to present an overmap of the town. I'm going to drag you to it. So give me one sec.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm gonna drag. Well, I think I'm gonna drag everybody because I know you could drag single players, but I don't know how to fucking do that.
You can. You have to like. I think you have to drag from their name at the bottom.
Yeah. Either way, I just don't like doing that because
I mean, he's gonna share all this information anyways.
Yeah, you're gonna share it later.
He's just doing like we're going around the town. If he sees any like, not necessarily festivities or anything, but you know what I mean. Just he's gonna keep his eye around, look for anything that he could do. Like not necessarily for that day. He wants to just get the lay of the land, but the next day.
All right. All right. Y'all can see that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, like I said, you come in on the docks. If you hold on, let me look at find my pointer before I start marking on stuff.
I take it from the looks of it that that's a church there. It kind of just looks like a temple
Yeah.
of some
So
sort.
yeah, like you'll find out that's a temple or a church of Iamade.
Okay.
They have that church here. Like I said, y'all came in over here. I believe the Jackanapes is right there. Y'all referred to go to, I think that's the Sitting Duck. Here during the day, you'll notice this is what they refer to as the low market. The goods at the low market are kind of like, as you look around, like you're all like, kind of getting this look like, not that great. Like it's like food on the verge of like spoiling and stuff like that.
Right.
You and as you walk around, like I'm assuming you walk the whole town.
Yeah, at least once over.
Because you have a day, so I'm just whatnot. As you make it up here, you're actually not allowed in here. The guards will turn you away. They'll ask who you are, and they'll tell you like, no, you don't need to come up. You don't need to be in here. When you come up this, like it's like kind of a hill. you'll notice like the houses look nicer. You know, everything in here is a little nicer, and there's actually like a market in there with people that are, you know, a little better. Like obviously, I don't want to say like they're, you know, obviously it's just a rich area. Yeah, it's
Right.
the high society area basically. Whatnot. So as you come up here, I can't remember which one it is. Why is it locking? Whatever.
You have to
One of
select the
these
free
is like
roam.
kind of a little shop that you notice has like plants and whatnot hanging around it, and people kind of come and go. And there's a like, I think it's a sign. Yeah, there'll be a sign that says the roots and remedies. There's a couple other shops that I'll point out here in a little bit.
Sure. If you hit no snapping on the ruler, you can do it that way.
Oh, I know what it is. I think it's because I'm holding Alt. Alt snaps no matter what you do. Because my Alt's push to talk. It snaps to the center, I think.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, because I had no snapping. Whatever. So you kind of get all that. There's like some other places. I'll see if I can find a better map that has it all. I know y'all were kind of typing it out. You know, good job whoever's doing that. So yeah, that's the generalization you get around the town.
I'm assuming this up here would be the mayor.
I feel like what is that building out there? I don't think that'd be the mayor because that's outside the city walls.
That is, I believe, a building that's being built. If you ask about it, like if you go outside, you would see it. Like I think it'd be big enough to see over the fence, especially if you come up here from the vantage point. I think they'd refer that to as the Lumber Consortium's headquarters.
Okay.
So would this be the mayor's house then?
Yeah, one of those houses up there would be the mayor's house and whatnot, and I think this is the courthouse. I think right here is the courthouse. Whatnot. But yeah, the mayor would live up here. The high gavel would live up there. At some area in here is the sheriff's office, and I think that is the barracks for the town's guard.
Okay.
So that's just what I think right now. So yeah, you're at some point I'll redo this map stuff for you.
No worries.
I'll get a generalized, but yeah, since you're spending all day doing that and whatnot, yeah. Obviously, these bigger buildings here and whatnot are used for the gathering and the lumber and all that kind of stuff. There's like a milling station and sanding and all that kind of stuff, which I think are the same things. I don't know. I'm not a lumber guy. I couldn't tell you.
Yep. All right, but no.
So let me ask.
No festivities or competitions going on.
Not as of right. Hold on, let me see.
No worries.
Like when you ask about it, they would say probably Quinn's Carnival. Is like it's like they kind of get the feeling because the way you come up and the way you come off, like you seem more as a presenter. You know what I mean? Like as a
yeah.
So they'd be like, maybe you could talk to Quinn and be a part of his carnival. Because how feats of strength are used at carnivals, like freaks and stuff like that. Like basically they're treating you like a sideshow attraction.
Of course they are.
But there are sideshow attractions, so it's okay.
So with that being said, like that's kind of like the vibe you get off when they talk to you. If you're more specific, like they say like some of the lumberjacks might get together and do that, like certain parts of the town and whatnot, but it's not super common, not here.
Okay.
But it but that's something you want to start. That's something you could actually start too. I don't know if is your character more used to participating or running those things? You know what I mean?
As a priest of Kyrgyz, he's proficient in both. He can work as referee. He can work as Kyrgyz. I mean, Kyrgyz is the god of fair competition, basically. So he's used to both sides of it. Priests of Kyrgyz are often used as judges in competitions.
Okay.
I believe.
All right. Let's see, and All right, give me 1 sec and let me do this response, and then I will pull y'all back to. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'll pull you back to the noon meeting.
All right.
All right. Now, keep in mind, like, you probably wouldn't be able to investigate all of this before noon. You know what I mean? Like, to go about all the part of town and share it. But I'm assuming, like, at dinner, like, once y'all meet back up with Amy, you'll share it. So just don't proceed forward on any information like that until after.
Sure.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, everybody, let's take a 5-minute break. I'm going to help my wife put the boys in the car, and she's about to leave, and then I'll have the
No
rest
worries.
of the
Okay.
time.
No worries.
Asp, message me directly what you want on Discord, and not in Roll20. That way I can respond, okay?
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you. I'll be right back.
Yeah. You know, I forgot to do that. Oh.
Whisper.
Oh my god, that's fucking impressive.
Huh?
Oh, so you know those fucking street performers that are just do the living statue act?
Yeah.
So this guy also trained his dog to stay completely still for the living statue act.
Sounds cute.
It is. Holy that's fucking incredible though.
I imagine people stop to pet the dog.
Yeah, I can post it in here. It's on iFunny though, so if y'all don't have iFunny, you might not be able. You can still open up on the fucking whatever on computer, whatever. Here, it's actually kind of fucking impressive.
That's actually really impressive. Yeah, having a
It
dog
is.
there while it's getting attention is pretty rough.
Ooh. Ow.
I'm ready.
Yeah, just waiting for the ST to get back.
I'm here, just muted.
Who are we waiting on?
Not sure.
I only got 4 thumbs up. Hold on. No, 5 now. Okay. We're all good. Alright. So let's see. So we were going back to the meeting. It's weird when I have 2 roll 20s open on my Chrome tab. It's hard to pull up the right one.
Yeah, it kind of freaks out on you a little bit.
Well, it's because I have it recording for a quote unquote player, so I keep clicking that one. It makes it the default one.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we'll go back to the Jackanapes. So y'all said y'all were meeting around noon. So at some point, Riberio, like when you're going about, you'll see Amy in the cut yard. You'll see Asp running around town and Sebastian too. So like y'all kind of get a generalization. You know what? Like actually no. Like we'll kind of play that back. You got a lunch break, so you'll come up here on your lunch break, okay, Amy?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So that way we'll have everybody here, and y'all.
And if there's any question about, hey, it's your first day, you shouldn't get a lunch break, I'll just mean mug them until I get a lunch break.
Yeah, lunch break? No, this is before workers' rights.
And I just lean down, look down at them, leaning over slightly, and they're like, no, you can have a lunch break, you're fine.
You're like right now, you leaving for the lunch break, nobody else starts the fucking labor union riot. Like they're all like, "Gee, guess one, we get one." They fucking leave. Like you just.
Yeah, I just start a riot.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, you come. You come.
What happened to not making a name for yourself?
Viva la revolution.
Well, you guys will come in at lunch, and basically, you'll see Jack there, kind of like stewing something up, and like he'll look at you guys and be like, are y'all plan on staying another night?
Yeah, seems like it.
He's like, all right. He's like, well, you're welcome to lunch. He takes your gold coin from each of you. Wait, was it 1 gold? What was it?
It was a gold.
It was gold.
It was gold. Okay, yeah.
It was a gold.
Take a gold. I can't remember. Sorry.
I'll take it. I'll take 10 silver. It's not a problem.
He'll take your gold from each of you, and he doesn't have anything fancy going on. It's just a small lunch, poor man's lunch. Some old tough meat and whatnot. Some bread. Gives you some water. Or actually no, he'll have some cider if you want it. Maybe a thing.
We are.
Maybe a thing of tea. So.
Yeah, no. So I'll stand.
Yeah, he'll set y'all down, and he'll set y'all stuff down, and he goes about his business. At some point, he'll go upstairs. Boom.
So
Yeah, Sammy's just got a good swag on when she walked in. Clearly, that his work has been a little rough. She ain't complaining about it. As he's just sitting down and just doesn't even say a word to anybody. It just seems to be focusing on eating.
So Riberio will say, I've spent most of my morning just going around the town, listening for rumors, so on and so forth, getting the lay of the land. There's certainly some interesting things going on here.
Through a mouthful of food, Amy would. Sorry, go ahead.
I said such as the town guard being jackasses.
Well, there's that. I did see some evidence of it, but also it seems like the, shall we say, higher class here don't even interact with the rest of the city unless 100 completely necessary. They have their own market and everything.
Reminds me of home, Amy says to a mouthful of food.
It's certainly a city in need of reform, shall we say.
Amy just chuckles at that.
Did we really come here to reform a town?
I didn't say we were going to do it, I just said that's what it needs.
Asp has a concerned look on his face the whole time. When conversation dwindles slightly, he speaks up. Still searching for information, but what I've found is concerning. I'll have more by evening time.
Hmm.
As
Well, I'll
far
tell you
as
this: the pay is shit.
Pay where?
Lumberyard.
Sorry.
Are you doing unskilled labor?
I just kind of nod.
I guess that's one way to lay low. Good thinking.
Just kind of shrug and take the compliment. Like, all right.
as far as I can tell, though, as far as my way of earning money, there aren't any above ground competitions, so to speak. All of them are underground, and those
Well,
are unpredictable to say the least.
I'd imagine. It seems that magic's outlawed, and nobody can really give a straight answer as to why. But we'll see what I can find.
I did hear that there is a circus coming to town, or something of that form. I think my next step is going to be heading to the church of Temple of Ayamade that's in the city. See, Ayamade, I'm doubtful that they would be so clueless to everything going on, and given the some of the obvious injustices, I feel like they may be a valuable ally here.
you'd ever met in the bidet, and clueless is how I describe him.
If there's a Temple of Ayamade, I can assure you there will be warriors there, as well as, shall we say, I'm trying to think of the word now and I can't.
Lackeys. Amy offers up.
No, zealots. A lot of Ayamade's
Lackeys.
followers tend to be very zealous when it comes to their beliefs, and well, I'll see what I can learn from them. Kyrgyz isn't on bad terms with Ayamade, so it should go fairly well.
Hmm.
And being both of them were once mortals that became gods, they have that in common.
Personally, I wouldn't worry too much about God friends coming in handy much. With the church in my days here, and it's as bad as I'm looking at it is, they're well aware of it.
Yes, but I'm curious to see what they're doing about all the issues in town.
Same thing
They
the
might.
barkeep did when we walked in here, offering his hand out and offering shitty food, decent cider.
Well, we'll see. That's my plan, at least. As for
At least the
you,
barkeep's honest about it.
yeah. Ayamade, worshippers of Ayamade wouldn't let all the injustice go freely. I'm curious to see what's going on there. That's all.
What are they supposed to do exactly?
Ayamade is a god of righteous valor, justice, and honor.
So what does that mean exactly? Anytime the peasantry gets a little uppity, they go behead the ones in charge? Yeah, right.
No, but they are, as I said, very zealous when it comes to dishonor and injustice.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the zealous ones that get stabbed first. The less zealous ones just take the hand out.
Roberto just sighs and goes, "It's due to Ionade that the world wound isn't spreading. They are quite the powerhouses, shall we say. This isn't something
Yeah,
that is
sounds-
taken lightly."
That sounds like a good place for all the zealots ones to go.
We're going around in circles here.
Just kind of shrugs.
I'm going to go to them and see what's going on with the temple. That's all. That's my plan, at least. Beyond that, I have no idea.
So y'all basically agreed to meet back here, later
Yeah.
after, the workday, and then go from there. So y'all gathered some information. Y'all exchanged some information.
Yeah.
All right. So the rest of the day, Amy will go back to work. Asp, you'll do your thing. Ribeiro, you'll do your thing. Sebastian, you'll do your thing. So let's see. Okay. Let me see if I have this. Hold on. All right, yeah. So, okay, we'll start back off with Ribeiro, just to get this going in this direction. Like you've been doing a lot and figuring a lot of stuff out. So that's where the general amount of your information comes. So like for right now, we'll say you plan on, you had planned on visiting the Temple of Ionade, but you have you've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
So
all that walk around the city.
Yeah, I mean, like one thing leads to another. Like this is in the middle of you asking about like, finding some kind of work doing what you do, and getting the information on like the carnival and some other stuff. Let's see, hold on. You're actually gonna make your way to where the hell did it go? Sorry. Okay. Okay, I do have a map. All right, let's make sure. Yeah, you're gonna make your way to a place called the Iron Armament. Like obviously you get the sense like in the smell that it's a smithy.
Right.
And you'll come in. As you come in, you'll see kind of a recognizable face which was shocking in this town.
Oh.
Or a face you recognize. Talking to a recognizable dwarf. At this point, let's go at do me a favor, Argentum. Will you do me a favor and introduce your character so people will know? Never mind. Okay. In 1 second. So yeah, like you'll come in and you'll see that they're talking about like maybe some possible work and whatnot, and he's talking to a smith there, and you'll recognize him from the mercenary company as somebody that you've spent a little bit of time with and whatnot.
Before you stands a very short dwarf of 3'10", weighs only 120 pounds, very scrawny, wears dented armor with a ripped cape, and he looks over at you. "Ribeiro, is that you? Is there a fight in this town?"
Ha! Only with you, my friend.
"What? No, I'll never fight you. Gods, please, no."
I'll get you eventually.
You can lay those anvils of hands down on somebody else.
Fine. Argentum, it's good to see you.
How did you manage to make it here? I've been laying low for a few nights.
Well, about the same. Stuck with the caravan, made it here.
Oh, that dwarf's caravan. I
He's
avoided
in
it.
the middle of
Figured
eating
that'd be the first
something.
place they look.
Well, consider me lucky.
Aye, that I do.
Me and a few others all make it. I'm sure the smith is too busy to notice. But let us go elsewhere. There's some things we should discuss and, well, places we should probably see. Well, we'll meet up with the others later.
Ah, there are more.
Aye. Other than me, there's another 3.
Interesting.
All right, so you'll leave the smith and kind of walk about and talk.
I'll yell over at the shop owner that I'm going out and I'll be back for supper.
Okay.
And then I'll also ask Argentum. Is it Argentum or Argentum?
Just call me Arg.
All right. Well, what's going on with the Temple of Ayamade? I've seen quite a few things that I would think they'd be against, if you know.
I've been keeping my head down. Just working in the forge.
Fair enough.
Ain't one to stick my nose where it ain't wanted. That's how it gets crushed, you know.
You always did enjoy playing it safe and everything but drinking.
Ain't nothing dangerous about good drink.
Well, that can quickly change. And he just laughs. Either way, there's definitely some things going on here that I feel need to be addressed, whether by us or other people.
Bar that. Let's go meet the others.
I know where one of them would be, but the others are doing their own research on the town.
Research? You a bunch of scholars now.
Well, we don't know. We didn't know if this place was safe or not, so better safe than sorry, you know?
Ain't nowhere safe above ground.
Well, we'll see what happens. They're trying to make a name for themselves in other ways, while me and we just gather information. We'll see what happens. It's a right state we're in. That's all I know.
So are y'all having this conversation while you're walking around outside town?
Yeah.
More or less.
Well,
We're in a right state. We're trying to learn about the city. I mean, nothing wrong with that.
all right. So, Argentum, you come to town and you basically just went to the one place that you knew you probably could throw a little work in. You haven't tried to figure anything out, right? That went your character's perspective.
Correct.
Okay, that's fine. 3. All right. So yeah, as you're like walking, kind of like talking, kind of like kind of more focused in on each other. You'll have. Hold on. Yeah, you'll actually, Roberio, you'll have a couple of kids come up, like, as you're talking to each other, like, and just kind of interrupt your conversation. You know, kids don't care about adult conversation.
All right.
Yeah, and there's just this little bitty like redhead boy with freckles will like kind of just go and stop like kind of jump in front of you like almost on your path kind of pathway, and there's two. There's a dark haired boy. There we go. Hold on. Like, gee golly, mister, you are huge.
That much is true.
Yeah, I was telling him. Look at him. He's a big man.
Here. What can I do for you, young ones?
Are you an adventurer? Are you a hero of town, maybe?
Adventurer, yes, of sorts.
What's your name?
Well, first I should ask yours. And he'll crouch down to get more towards their level. Here, I might also have a little something I can give you in time. But for now, you can call me Roberio.
Roberio. Oh my God, Mikra. We found an adventurer. Like the red-haired looks at a black one and refers to him as Mikra, and he's like, "Yeah, let's go tell everybody." And they just run off. Like you hear them like say Roberio a couple of times.
I don't think you should have done that.
They're children. It'll be fine. It's not like I'm the only Roberio in the world.
Aren't you?
I've met one or so, another one or two. It's not the most common name, but it's also not unheard of.
So as y'all meet up, do y'all have a somewhere you're headed, or are you just gonna kind of continue looking around and he's just tagging along? What's the play from here?
Yeah, I'm just tagging along.
I know this is kind of like a curveball in what you thought would happen to you. That's why I wanted to, and this is me addressing Roberio, to make sure that is still the game plan.
Yep.
Well, so like I said, you're gonna, you'll find out what you find out for today, like that we discussed earlier. Let's see. Sorry, I'm eating. I should be eating and talking.
No worries. Roberio will, however, pick up some wood, some lumber on the way back. Not necessarily like large pieces, but just enough that he can whittle with. He is a woodworker.
Okay.
One of the things that I just clarified, a lot of Kyrgyz's worshippers actually do woodworking and actually make dolls for children.
Yeah.
Like specifically.
Like obviously you'll see kids as like you said, you're walking around the town and whatnot. Like there's children all about the town throughout the day.
Yeah.
Coming and going, popping in and out of like your area. That was just like one where like you were a big presence.
I am hard not to notice.
Well, it's more along the lines of you're intimidating. Those kids that and they introduce themselves. That's why you have their names, like and whatnot. Not every kid's gonna come up, and talk to you. Like,
I know.
They had their want, and they got it. Other than that, Amy, like you spend the rest of the day, is there anything else you want to ask around about since you got some other information that other people didn't have, or is there anything you want to clarify, or you just want to finish out your day working?
I'm just kind of guess offhandedly, like kind of glancing over at I could like see beggars and shit from the lumberyard, and just kind of offhandedly ask, if there's so much work to be done, the lumber and wire fit people begging. Just kind of looking kind of confused at that, very genuinely.
I mean, there's a common, looking folk. Will, just a regular human worker will just be like, it's. I mean, some just, they're injured or they've been outed.
Oh, did?
Yeah, you come sour of the Consortium. You ain't gonna work for them.
They blacklist you.
Yeah.
I just kind of nod, like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
'Cause-
Still,
yeah.
isn't there a temple of those justice, whatever, Danes around here? Couldn't be able to get patched up? Or are they even more useless than I already believed?
You speaking of the priestess? Nah. Like most people here don't tend to go to her. She dabbles in magic.
At least it's the kind of magic you kind of understand. Or is it just a general thing to keep away from all of it around here?
It's just safer for us mortals to steer away from that.
I just kind of nod, like, yeah, fair enough.
Look, I'll offer you some chew. He's chewing it while he's working.
Yeah, I kind of take it with a small nod of gratitude. I'm like, oh, appreciate it. As yeah, I'll just continue about my work. That is a thing noticeable about Amy. She's very much used to this. This isn't exactly like she's just some random giant orc who wandered in. She actually knows what she's doing and kind of seamlessly kind of blends in
Yeah.
with the crowd more or less. And she pulls her weight, which is considering the size of her is quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's, same kind of type. Like, he's just straight into his work. You talk to him, you give him a bit of conversation. He offer you some spit, and then that's it. Or some chew, whatever you call it. So,
Yeah, pretty much. Just going about your day.
He spits on you. I'm sorry.
Nah, not him.
No, it's a rare man in that lumber consortium who would dare. Would not end well.
Alright, Roberto, is there any way, not Roberto, sorry. Sebastian. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to look into, or is it, do you want that investigation part to be what you did most of the day?
It's gonna be most of the day, but I think I'm also going to write up a letter saying, basically offering my services as a bodyguard.
You said you're writing a letter?
Writing not a letter, but a notice offering my services up as a bodyguard, trying to get the attention of some of the perhaps shadier people in town.
And where are you going to post this notice?
In a couple of the inns, in a couple of the taverns, at the town hall, wherever they'll let me, really.
Okay. Alright, give me 1 second. Alright, hey, I didn't want to call you out. I just didn't know. I know some of the stuff you like to do, you like to keep it under the cuff, so that's what I was asking you in that sense, if you wanted to keep it down or if you want to, what you want to do.
Yeah, sure. We can keep it on the down low. It's not a big deal.
Okay. So where do you plan on going first?
So I mean, he would investigate those places he said before, and if anybody has any outstanding issues, but it doesn't look like he found anything so far. So if he's like not let in, or he's like told there's no outstanding issues, he will seek out the herbalist first, probably Laurel, see if she has any problems. Then he'll inquire about the like what's going on with the banning of magic and what's going on with that. Um, and then if she can help him, he'll pull on that thread, and otherwise he'll go outside of town and talk to Charveros.
Like if you go talk to Laurel, who runs the Roots and Remedies, like she's pretty generally, just accommodating. Like you walk in, obviously it's an herbalist shop, and whatnot, and she's asks, what can she do for you? And you get the sense that she does, dabble in kind of making potions and whatnot, because you can see some beakers and some other things.
Aspen introduces himself and states he's passing through town. And after speaking to a couple people, he's learned that there's some sort of ban on magic, and that he finds that very strange. And if she could tell him more about that.
I mean, it's been that way as long as I've known. I don't really, I don't really know if there'd be anything to it. Maybe my grandma used to. I think she used to live in the town, and it was banned on magic. It probably has a lot to do with the history of the town. We've been plagued with some dark, I guess dealings, if you want to say.
Asp looks curious. Oh, would you be able to share more?
I mean, we've been raided by goblins. You have the Fae that come out of the Vale and attack, the lumberers in the town. Over enough time, probably. I guess everybody here became superstitious of magic, thinking that, somebody's dealings in it had something to do with bringing forth demons or devils, per se.
So there's not even healing or basic magics. They don't come to you for your potions and think that's magic.
No, I mean they don't consider what I do magic because I really don't even use magic. Healing, the Temple of Iamade, they are allowed to use their magics for healing, but it's not like you can't go about town using magic so much. They're like there's a couple of things they'll turn their head to, or turn their eyes from to allow to happen. But not a lot of people go to the temple for healings. It's such a superstitious bunch that we have here.
So I'm assuming you don't have the same beliefs.
I guess I'd call myself a skeptic. More so than anything, because, we don't have dealings with magic on a daily basis. I know it exists, but, I'm not scared of it, if that's what you're asking.
Asp offers Laurel a faint smile. Is she a human? Is she a...
Yeah, she's a human. Here,
Okay.
I'll give you a character tab since she's introduced herself.
Okay. Asp will smile faintly and nod his head in understanding. All right, then. Well, I'm guessing you wouldn't be able to point me towards any libraries or places where I can acquire more information about magic itself. Do you have any problems that you need aid with? Maybe some sort of ingredients or trouble being caused by people in town?
I haven't heard of anything. Obviously, there's things that people need, but me per se, no. Seems like there's a bit more of a cough going around for this time of year, but that's not something I think you could deal with. As to like anything with the library, no, they don't. They really don't have a library here. I know the temple has some books, whether or not they're on Iamade, like I couldn't tell you. Like churches, a lot of times keep records in libraries, but out here, no, there wouldn't be just a person that's collecting books or whatnot. At least she knows of. As to when it comes to magic, a lot of people say Sharvis, he's dealing with stuff out there, but I think that's just people being people judging him because he's a bit of a hermit. Him and his son lives alone in that house since he lost his wife. He's kind of shut himself off. She was the light of his eyes.
Asp nods in understanding as she explains things, and then he'll pick up that thread. Sharvaros. I've heard his name before, and much of the same things said about him. Strange that the town would isolate a man like that. Does he have a history of magical use or anything of the sort?
I wouldn't say so much the town has isolated him, as it's more of a kick response to him isolating himself. Like I said, he's a bit of a recluse. He's always been that way.
But he's not a mage.
Not that I've seen. but I've heard people, say stuff. But I'm not going to speak on him, out of turn because I do not know.
Would he be opposed to visitors?
I mean, I don't try to visit him. I don't hear about people trying to visit him, but he doesn't. It doesn't seem like he doesn't really, socialize with people. So.
Right. Well, would you be able to point the way to where he lives? And perhaps I'd like to purchase some of your more common remedies. Something that would aid a homesteader who lives alone.
Well, yeah, he lives outside of town, like a little past the north gate. She gives you a general description. He doesn't live like within this town map. He lives like more on the outskirts. But it would be like in the northeast area.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah. Other than that, what were you asking?
He's looking to buy some of her common remedies that would assist a homesteader who lives by himself, basically.
Okay. Yeah, she'll give you a couple of things. Like it's nothing. It's like a silver piece, like some random stuff.
Sure. Asp will thank her. He'll tell her that he's staying at the Jackanapes, at least for the next little while, and that he's looking for work if any trouble comes calling. And though he will ask that she doesn't spread his name around too much.
She nods.
With that, he'll bid her a good day and head off in the direction she indicated, trying to seek out this mysterious stranger.
Okay. You'll leave out of the north side gate. You don't really get any trouble. Like during the day, like they let people come and go. Like last night when you were coming in with the merchant caravan, you kind of got the sense that at night they don't let people just come and go freely, but you got let in because Belgar is a known merchant that's come back and forth, and they don't they wouldn't just let a merchant caravan just sit on the outside of the gate. So had you probably come in without knowing anybody, try to come in through the gates, like they wouldn't have allowed you. They would have made you wait until morning on the outside of town. Yeah, so you'll go out there. You'll find where he said where she said his house was. It's I would say like common for the style of houses that the town has. It's like a 2-story house and whatnot. Coming up, like you don't see any like kind of notices to stay away and stuff like that. Some houses do have that even back in the day. Just to be left alone and left to their own devices. Yeah. I'm assuming you just knock on the door, or do you sit out and just yell?
Yeah, he'll call out a greeting and knock on the door frame.
Well, hold on. All right. You'll see a. You'll hear kind of movement on the inside, but after a while nobody says anything.
He calls out, Charvaros, I've come with a delivery from Laurel.
You'll hear a response coming from a voice much younger than the man you think you're supposed to speak to. From afar in the house, like, just set it on the ground. Thank you.
Asp calls out, that's not Charvaros. Who's there?
My dad's not here right now.
All right, well, delivery is supposed to be for him, so I'll come back later.
Okay.
And
You'll hear like more movement. Like you'll hear movement kind of like towards the like you could because it's right, real close, but you can hear kind of running what sounds like going upstairs. And there's like a little window up there, and you see like a little curtain like peel to the side, just a sliver. You could make a little eye peeking out.
Asp will turn and head off.
Okay. Hold on. Yeah, no, you're good for right now. Okay. Do you have anything else?
No, that's it. I mean, he'll go back into town and inquire on those things he acquired before. Sees if he'll see if he's able to get to Vamros or Thuldrin and see if they have any work. Or, sorry, if there is any trouble that they require assistance with.
Okay, so you're trying to see the mayor and the leader of the lumber consortium. They'll eventually they'll tell you that the mayor sees people on what is it? Like if you I'll roll to see if you can randomly run into him in town, but if not, they'll tell you that he sees people like at the beginning of the week in the town, or not the town, the tribunal. It's kind of like his town hall basically. He has a little area set to the side there, and Thuldrin, like when you ask to go speak directly to Thuldrin, they'll always point you to Payday. They'll say, well, if you find Payday somewhere around town, they'll describe him as a large man with like kind of like a fucked up looking nose, very disagreeable demeanor.
All right. Well,
it's like you don't deal directly with Thuldrin unless you know Thuldrin, basically.
all right. Asp will take that under advisement and try to seek out Payday if there's enough time in the day left.
Okay. Let's see here. Who else? Rebarios settled. Amy settled. Sebastian settled. Yeah. Give me a sec. Who else did you meet? I need to open up.
Yeah. So he met Ruts. He met Laurel. He tried to meet Famros and Thuldrin, but was pointed towards Payday. And he did not meet Sharvaros. He briefly interacted with what I am assuming is Sharvaros' son.
Okay. Yeah. And let's see if Payday's around. Give me a sec. Oh. You'll find out Payday and Thuldrin are at the lumber camps to the north. Near the Darkmoon Vale. Like they have kind of satellite camps around the Vale where they use to chop the lumber and then take it to the river and send it downriver, is what you find out. And that they actually went out there for inspections.
How long are they going to be there? And what is the most rapid way to get there?
You just leave town. You follow the fucking road, you follow the roads out of town. They pretty much lead you there, north and northwest.
Okay.
Yeah, but how long it takes to get there, that I will have to look into. It's not easy. It's not like it's probably like an hour's walk or something like that. I don't know. But there are 3 of them, I believe. So.
And how long are they going to be there?
They don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, they wouldn't know that information. They would assume that they'd be back like before the night's done because they ride horses out there and whatnot.
Oh, so today.
They would assume today.
Okay.
Most of the time they don't. Most of the time they don't stay outside like that. If you're not a lumberman out there, you're not a lumberman out there. But if he's going out there for inspection, you don't know. Maybe he is going to stay out there and try, kind of make a presence because they have a tight niche, obviously, on the town. But lumber camps, they're away, so if they're left to their own devices, you know how people kind of get when they don't have the boss around all the time.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So, well, Asp will thank whoever's telling him this information. And I think there's no more strings for him to pull in town at the moment. With that, he will head back towards the Jackanapes.
Okay.
And hope to convince the party to hit the road to try to hit some of these lumber camps before it gets too dark.
Oh, well, Amy won't be back till it's dark.
Oh, we'll have to
She-
pull her
she's
out of
doing
work.
her thing. All right, so hold on. And we're back. And we're back. To answer your question, Argentum, who is Laurel? Laurel is the owner of the Roots and Remedies, which I think.
Oh, I was joking because you pulled it up in front of that.
Yeah. Well, I was
Very
running
good.
through stuff and I was trying to pull out all the people that have been introduced.
I'm back.
Oh my god. The sun is setting and it's right in my eyes. It's so annoying. Alright. So, close all these people. Is there anybody else that I've introduced? Oh, gotta put Jack on there. I've met Jack. Did I? No, I didn't. Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
So Jack has yet to entertain us with his skills in jiggling.
I think it's
sorry.
meant to be juggling.
It is
That's a
meant to be.
type.
Sorry.
I figured, but I couldn't help.
Yeah, no, jiggling is Roberio's thing.
What the fuck?
Yeah, right.
No, that's my thing. Roberio's thing is different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Something you'll actually notice about Jack is in the morning, like when y'all came down, he makes pancakes he calls jackanapes, and like that's where he gets the nickname. They're actually pretty good. So
Nice.
and obviously when he's cooking, like when he does make spend the time to do that, you've seen him so far. You've seen him. Well, you haven't seen him make dinner because when you came in, it was like what was left was like stewing. And then you've seen him make lunch, which is just bland. But when he's making his jackanapes, that's where he gets into it. He does it with flair, like as a bartender would.
Nice.
Okay.
Sorry, I alt opened my tabs and it opened every fucking tab. That shit was a pain in the ass. I had to close them all out single-handedly. I don't know how to mass close everything. Where? All right, so. I'm gonna look at a map and give you a bit more of a precise answer, asked to that question about distance. It's about actually it's about 40 miles from town. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, when you leave town, there's 2 to the north and one northeast and one to the or 2 to the northwest and 1 to the northeast. The one to the northeast is about 20 miles, and then the others are about 30 and 40 miles out. So it's a bit of a walk actually. So that's the, sorry, that was the information I didn't have on hand.
Okay, so it's like 2 days walk. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So other than that, everybody's resolved what they're looking to get into. I'm assuming, Riberio, you're going to get Argentum to come and meet with you guys at the Jackanapes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Amy, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Sebastian? Okay.
Yep.
And Asp is doing something, but he'll be here in a sec. So let me pull you guys back to the Jackanapes. And this time Argentum's not just hiding in the corner, not saying anything. And when Asp gets back, we will start it.
Back.
Okay.
Are we back at the Jackanape?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna end up back at the Jackanapes. And we'll kind of like, I don't know who's gonna be the last one to come in, but we're just gonna kind of play it where y'all kind of come in. Dinner set out. It's just some cut up ham and some corn and whatnot. So that's laid out for you. He tells you y'all's rooms are the same rooms. He didn't change you over. And then Jack will actually just kind of sit down like over here. I don't have him at the moment, and just with a plate just start eating.
All right, well, do we all recognize Argentum?
I would assume you recognize him from being part of the mercenary company. Whether or not you've associated with him is based upon your character.
I'm from the healers division, so depends on how often you took wounds.
Yeah.
Aspel looks surprised when a familiar-looking dwarf appears in their midst. You! I've seen you before. What are you doing here? How did you find us?
Actually,
Boy,
I found
didn't
him.
find you. What he said. I even managed to bring a friend. Argentum reaches into his backpack and pulls out a small armadillo with a brand of Torag on its back, the mascot of the healers division.
Aspel lets out a sigh of relief. Coincidence, then. All right, well, it's good to see you alive. Not everyone made it.
I agree in that with that.
But I've some news.
Hmm.
I'll let the others share any findings they have first.
Well, other than finding our dwarven friend here, I haven't gotten all too much more information.
I figured out who runs this town. Lumber Consortium. They decide who gets to work and who doesn't. That's why there's so many beggars. You speak back to them, you get blacklisted. You don't, you get a little unhappy about the pay, you don't get to work no more. Doesn't help there's some kind of cough going around. So they got a serious shortage of workers.
Hmm.
Beyond that, seems like this is pretty much their town.
As Amy would mention that, it's not something that you would have noticed right off because it's not like everybody's coughing, but like as she mentions that, you're like you do feel like you've seen an abnormal amount of people coughing, but it's just that's just like a weird thing. Maybe it's allergies, maybe it's what. You know what I mean? It's something you wouldn't have noticed offhand unless somebody mentioned it.
Corona strikes again.
Seriously.
Yeah, even in our fantasies, they'll come to get you. Anyway, but yeah, Amy's just kind of like eating, and puts down like the corn she was chomping on for a second. So yeah, seems to me if we're looking for work, our kind of work that pays better than 4 silvers a day, we should wander up to that consortium, see if they're looking for mercenaries, guards, or some shit like that. Got the money in town, so they'd probably be able to pay.
Agreed. And I've done some searching. It seems that the person to find is Payday, who works for Thuldrin, who runs the consortium, and the pair of them are currently investigating the camps near the Vale. Camps are about a couple days walk. So my suggestion is that we take off tomorrow morning.
What kind of camp? Is just the lumber camps, or?
Yes.
Okay.
And why do you need to talk to them?
They're the ones who know what's going on. They're the ones with the money. We want to get paid, we go to them.
Or else there's no point in staying here. Might as well head off further east to see what else we can find.
And we don't exactly have the money for a trip like that.
Well, there's no reason why we can't just survive in the wilderness. We've done it plenty of times before.
That was a wilderness we knew, and we had fallbacks beyond that. And I'd rather not resort to that kind of desperation if I can help it.
Well, we're already there.
Nah, not quite there yet.
Asp glances to the side. We're in a backwater with no connections, and we're begging the Lumber Consortium for work. Yeah, I'd say we're there.
It's kind of sharp. Difference between a copper and a silver, I guess. Still,
I mean,
one
there's
other thing
always
we might
the
want to.
idea of going to a different town.
That's the issue with backwaters. They're spread out. That's a long trek.
So I was saying we should try the Lumber Consortium, and if they don't bite, well, we could head east, we could head north.
Well, if we want to look into this cough that's going around, maybe speak to some kind of herbalist or maybe your priest at that Temple of Imade. Maybe they got some work for us, some plant or the liver of some magic thing to make it all better. I don't know.
Asp shakes his head. I've spoken to Laurel, the herbalist, and she said though it's strange, she doesn't see anything extremely strange for it. She just says it's unseasonal. Beyond that, on the topic of magic, let's keep a lid on it. It seems that it's not taken kindly here to the town's history.
Yeah, I heard something about that too. Well, honestly, if the cough is unseasonal, it's probably the sawdust. I've seen it before. People working too long hours, cramped conditions, shitty ventilation, foremen don't give a fuck. Messes your lungs up real good after a while. That's how my pa died.
Okay. That's in response, Argentum.
I was supposed to be going to the sitting duck tonight after we met up.
Sudden Duck might be a spot to look into. And there's a notice board or something around here. Might be something we can do. Somebody looking for something. I'm sure the Consortium probably has bounties on troublesome wildlife or goblins or whatever else might be lurking around in here.
Well, maybe we should go now then. No better time than the evening for a tavern.
Let me finish my dinner first. It's been a long day. As you could definitely see, like Amy came in sweating, just as she was at lunch, and definitely looks a little drained. Normally, she's eating like there's 16 people waiting behind her for scraps, but she's eating kind of slowly right now.
Okay, so y'all finish your food up, and is anybody gonna sit out and not go to a tavern that's gonna have a lot of people in it? Like, I mean, are you all cool with going and drinking in a tavern?
Yep.
Yeah, no, we'll just finish up the food and drink and shit we already paid for here, because I mean, we're already paying room and board. Might as well get our fill here, supposed to spend money elsewhere. But yeah, then we can go and check out the Sid Duck.
Okay, give me 1 sec. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Oh, give me 1 sec. I gotta put a light source on the map, and then we'll be good to go.
Sure.
Whisper.
Okay, life source done. All right, so like I said, Amy, you would have gotten done like closer to dark. So as y'all start to walk the streets at night, heading north, like the town's starting to settle down to a certain degree. Obviously, less noise and whatnot. Outside of the tavern, you'll see maybe a couple of people just like casually talking and chatting and whatnot. It's a decent sized tavern. Like obviously, it's not the biggest, like a big city tavern or whatnot. You'll come in like obviously as you come in, like the smell of fucking old ale and whatnot will hit your nose. There is that slight hint of urine that you'll get around town and drunkenness and the smell too. You'll come through the door and whatnot right there. You'll see a pretty lively area. Like as you come in, you'll see this woman over here. She's kind of going back and forth. She'll tell you, take a seat wherever you want. I'll get with you in a sec, or just go to the bar.
I just give him a nod. Head over that way.
I guess we take this table because we're all here. I don't know.
I mean, that's up to you. There's
What
some open
do we
tables,
wanna
there's some
do?
open spots, wherever you want to go. You can look around. You should be able to freely walk through here, and I think it'll update based upon you dropping. If you have any vision issues, just let me know. There is a walkway that goes up into some other rooms up at the top. The barkeep's got a door behind him, and as you come into this foyer area, there's a closed door back there. There is a halfling on the piano. He's singing a song, kind of entertaining the crowd and whatnot. He's pretty good. Like, no complaints.
I'm gonna sit up here by the piano.
Okay.
I'm gonna give the halfling like 4 silver. Playing the piano.
Okay. Like, he's going along and whatnot, and he gives you a little nod, like he's singing the song in the middle of the break, and, like kind of in the middle of like a little, like, the part where the chorus dies down, and he's just kind of playing. He'll say, thank you, sir. What's your name?
My name's Sebastian.
Sebastian. He nods, and then he starts to kind of go on and on about it. He's kind of changing the tempo of the song to like a story of a princess whose heart was stolen by a man, and then he just goes on and on. And then obviously Sebastian is the name of the man.
Well, you lady killer, you, eh?
All right, Argentum, are you staying down there?
Yeah.
Okay. She will go to. She'll come over to ask Roberio and Amy as y'all are sitting back there. Like she'll come up, say, "Well, welcome to the Sydney Duck. What can I have for you?"
What do you got for spirits?
Is you looking for hard stuff or soft stuff?
Hard.
He says, we've got a pretty famous potent brew of fermented darkwood leaf. They say it could floor an ogre and a few tinkers.
Sounds perfect.
She looks down at Asp. And for you, Seth?
I'll take a small beer. I'll take it at the bar. Do you happen to know, is there a notice board around here?
She says there might be, it might be updated. She goes, yeah, like the area you entered back there, when I say there, let me say all the way to the left, was like kind of an entrance area. Here, I'll show you. Give me a sec.
Here?
Yeah, this area. So this area. Yeah. There's one right there.
Okay.
Yeah. So you didn't think to look at it, like you didn't think like, that was there. It's kind of small. So I will give you that information in a second. Let me get through this, okay?
Yeah, sure. But Asp will thank her. He'll say he'll grab a small beer from the from the bar, but then he'll head off. He'll like gesture to the others that he's heading towards the notice board, and he'll go investigate it.
Okay. And then Roberio, like she looks at you, like she kind of gives you like another second, like almost a second glance. And for you, big man,
Roberio, just an ale. I don't need all too much.
she says, "Okay, no food.
I'll come back to that later.
All right, very well." And she'll come over to Argentum. Yeah. Hello, sir. What can we get you here?
Oh, I'll just take me an ale.
Anything to eat for you tonight?
Oh no, I like to feast on my dreams.
Very well. She'll come over, pick a plate up, and go up to Sebastian. You drinking tonight? Eating tonight, maybe?
Yeah, give me a decent brew and a whatever you've got cooking back there.
Okay. By decent brew, are you looking for some hard stuff now? Or are you looking for some just mild
just
stuff?
light, mild stuff. I don't want anything crazy.
She goes, okay. You need your wits about you. Like as she says, okay, she kind of walks away, and as she's walking away, she says, you need your wits about you to kind of take the hearts of the princesses, eh? And she nudges the halfling on the piano, and she goes and she starts picking some stuff up. So as she's doing that and getting your guys' stuff, is that asked? That's when you'll go and check the board, then go make your way to the bar.
Yeah, he'll stop by the bar and then head towards the board, picking up a mug of small beer on the way.
Okay, so you're waiting for her to come out. All right, that's fine. So she will pop.
I am gonna roll a perception check to see if I can hear any conversations going on now.
Okay. All right, I mean, obviously you can hear conversations. You're in the midst of it.
I'm looking for like.
Look at you, Asp. You're like trying to go through the door.
I'm looking for things like in particular of work and the general attitude of people towards this town and people in this town.
All right, so we'll start with you, Sebastian. And like, yeah, you'll hear, you hear a couple of guys like behind you. You can kind of tell they're basically, laborers, lumbermen, and whatnot. They're kind of bitching to each other. They're saying, the recent issues wouldn't be so bad if you didn't have all these lazy bums laying out with this, bullshit. They kind of refer to it as a bullshit cough. Like bullshit illness, sickness, like that you get the sense that they feel like people are taking advantage of the situation to kind of get out of work and whatnot. The other stuff just seems to be general conversation and whatnot. Nothing like too out of the ordinary. You'll hear. Hold on. You will hear some, rumors that they'll talk about you'll hear like some casual joking going, and where's the sheriff at night? Probably up at the Roots and Remedies when the lights are out, and then everybody kind of starts chuckling and laughing at it.
Roots and Remedies?
That probably if we get the chuckle out of Amy, who only has half the context of that.
Yeah. Laurel Shop. That's Roots and Remedies. She's the proprietor of the shop. And then you'll hear somebody respond like, this guy off in the corner will be like, it's not as bad as old Thaldrin going out and, sharing the dirt with that Fey Queen. And then everybody just starts chuckling. Like, it even kind of gets the halfling on the piano to chuckle enough that he kind of stops and turns around, and he'll start to go on about out in the world what he's seen. The Fey Queens aren't usually the ones that are being betted, but they're the ones betting themselves. Roberio, where the hell are you going?
I was trying to put my token over there so I could see.
Roberio is engaging in his mystical art of flexportation. He flexes so hard he teleports.
I was just hovering my token over there so I could see, just moving around and then I let go. Because I can't see it over here, so I was doing it over here.
Yeah, it dropped, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, anyways, that's just some, obviously people are just kind of laughing and kind of poking fun at, the stuff going on.
Okay.
All right. Argentum, are you just sitting there just drinking? Like she'll come and bring your drink.
I'm mildly sulking in the corner because everybody abandoned me.
Well, they went to the table. You stayed there. I don't know.
I was the first to sit down.
Oh, they're all the way back there.
All right, like as you see,
Yeah,
everybody.
like
in here
AB
and
just
whatnot.
went to where there was a bench because it looked sturdy enough for her to lie back. That was pretty much it. That's what you got abandoned. So go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, as you're looking around and whatnot, you see you see 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Pretty much, it's generally mostly humans. Obviously there's a dwarf over here and the halfling, but most I think that guy's a dwarf too, and that guy might be a halfling as well. So yeah, pretty much the ratio here is predominantly human. As some people do come and go. Sorry, I was reading chat. Yeah, like the night goes on. Pretty much what happens at the Sitting Duck is, it's okay. Like, I don't know how long y'all plan on spending in here, so I'm just gonna go over a general, like, kind of feel you get for, like, let's just say an hour and a half.
Sure.
You'll see from the back. Hold on, I just lost the map on my main
How
screen.
dare you?
You'll see from the back area, the door opens as people, like a couple people come in and out. You see like a large table with a room with one large table and a separate fireplace. Some people are coming and going. Roberio and Amy, since y'all are over there, you would see at least a dwarf and an elf in there that you could kind of like make out from your perspective as the door opens and closes. But as people are coming and going, they tend to be a little bit careful about keeping the door, closed and not letting it like just fly open and stay open. But you can see a knife on the table, and you hear like some, like not so much knocking as like wood, blade hitting wood and whatnot in that back room back there. So there is some kind of sound that's not like the obvious bar sounds, of room talking and glasses clanking and stuff like that. But there's nobody at the door that keeps people out. I'm just letting you know that's what's going on, other than the general comings and goings of the bar itself. Did you want me to pull you back in? If I could ask, I'm pulling you back in there because you didn't just stay in there. So Asp, I guess you would have kind of seen that too.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming in an hour and a half he would have checked the board and.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you're not staying in there the whole time.
Does he find anything on the board?
Yeah. Here, here. Let me give you that. Actually, you will see 3 listings. One is a request for what seems to be like fair pay for wolf pelts. Secondary is a request for people to go to the Darkwood Vale and help somebody scout an area. And third is a request to kill a boar that's been troubling a farm area.
When do we find the Sword of Truth?
Sword of Truth?
These are very much level 1 quests. Let's do it.
It's a reference to the South Park thing, the WoW episode. You got to kill boars. Just keep killing boars. You'll get the sword.
Was it called the Sword of Truth in South Park?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the WoW episode.
Because I thought you were talking about like Terry Goodkind's book series, The Sword of Truth, and I was like, how is that tied to the Sword of Truth book series?
No, it's not. It's just a meme. It's okay. South Park making fun of World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I was like, wait a minute. I've read those books multiple times. It's like that has nothing to do with boars and wolves and whatever else. I was like, what?
That's kind of the point.
Okay. Yeah, like that's just the job postings they have here. Like you also know that there's probably job postings at the town hall. And then anybody else in here that might, need work, might need work. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, actually, I need to roll. Hold on. Okay. Everybody roll me perception checks.
I wish I could just keep my prior one. Actually, I'll take that one.
Yeah, I'll take that one too.
Ooh, that's a good roll. Hey, good perception checks across the board.
Pretty much everybody here is gonna see it. Except for Mario.
God damn it, Roberto, bringing down the average.
Flexing.
Pretty much everyone here is gonna see it. Oh,
I did
never
that.
mind.
I did that to you. You can
Bringing down the average.
You could tell something's like you all kind of get this weird sense as the waitress. Oh, she introduced herself. Sorry. When she's going to certain tables, like when she lays down a mug, like she lays it down, like certain mugs down with her hand under it, and like lays the mug down, and then at some point, like the person getting the mug will like lift it up, but when they lift it up.
You cut off.
Hello?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. What was the last thing you heard?
When they lift it up?
When they lift the mug.
Yeah, when they lift them, like when they go to lift their mug, like their hands like right there, and like they put it, they grab whatever's like looks like they grab something and put it in their waistbands, here and there.
Sure.
And then they'll get up and there is a washroom here, like with a little, or I would there's got to be a washroom somewhere that they would end up going into. So let's see. And I don't know, Argentum, if you you don't know, I use push to talk, so sometimes because my push to talk's alt, if I trail off, it's more likely I accidentally let go. So just let me know. Or if I not trail out, if I silence out, I guess.
Mild.
Same.
A quick Dakota question, actually, because I wasn't here when we completed the caravan guide quest. How much money did we get for that? Like, how much money should we have?
25 gold minus the 2 gold you paid for room and board the past 2 nights. And anything else you might have bought.
Sounds good.
Eliana is the barmaid, and yeah, there she is. It's Eliana, and she refers to the barkeep as Rigard.
All right.
So y'all have met them. All right. Yeah, other than that, like, I mean, that's pretty much something you kind of notice. But, like, that's the only thing that stands out. Yeah. Let's see here. Sebastian, you end up getting food and beer. You finish yourself. Does anybody go to drink in excess? Does anybody want to just like kind of, you know what I mean, like not do anything and get in trouble, like, other than just having a good time? Do you kind of want to drink to kind of forget your troubles? Because keep in mind, like y'all are literally coming off of a hard time on the road, and y'all just came from like a tragic turmoil. You know what I mean? Like you almost died.
Yeah, so now Amy's having ordered strong drinks for a reason. She's going to be nursing those the whole night.
Okay.
So it's I wouldn't say she's going to get absolutely smashed, but she's actually a bit more of a lightweight than you'd suspect. So she's getting into her cups.
Okay. Is everybody going to leave together, or is somebody just like, is anyone here just to kind of get a feel for it and then go back and just sleep? You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to figure out how long you guys plan on spending here, because things progress as time goes on.
Not particularly long, I'd imagine. I mean, Ash shares the information that he's uncovered, and if nothing else of note occurs, He'll
Yes, as Amy's kind of listening to this, what were the jobs again? It was a boar, and what were the other two?
Well, one was to help a person scout out an area of the Darkmoon Vale, basically guard them while they go in there, and then the other is basically you bring me wolf pelts and I'll give you a decent amount of money. From what you see here, if Asp has done any research, because you're the one that looked at the board and you mentioned it, and Amy has an experience with what actual hard labor is. It's decent money compared to working.
Sounds to me like could get a few things done at once. Take the job scouting the dangerous area. Come across any wolves, we go whatever way to pick them off. Then we track down that boar on the way back. Collect 3 pouches. Decent bit of money, even split between us.
sounds fair. Might even be able to stop by the lumber camps.
We'll see. They're probably just trying to prospect a new location for a camp. That's usually what people are scouting around for, but who knows? Could be it's looking for something else. We'll have to ask. So tell me then, as I don't think we've ever really had much time to talk about our own lives and other shit. What what are y'all hoping to do with your lives? I mean, other than sitting here and drinking and looking for a way to make a living.
And I was a rogue.
I'll probably head back to the Fog Peaks sometime soon. Little tired of these lowlands.
I can understand that. Yeah, no, my village I grew up at isn't far from there. Mostly trading lumber we were climbing for tools and shit. It was alright, but kind of reminds me of here. Little rough around the edges, fighting for a day's meal.
Ask shrugs. If there's no work to be had, probably head to the northeast, see what else I can find.
Honestly, probably would have more safety up among the dwarves. More work too. They're always dealing with something. I bet you, Roberto.
I'm not sure how long I have left in life as is, so honestly, I'm going to keep doing what I enjoy. I'm going to keep competing. My goal is still the same: to compete alongside my god. But beyond that, well, I haven't really. I don't have plans.
Amy nods. Fair enough. I'm still trying to piece something together myself. As when she sits, like her axe, of course, is almost as tall as she is, so it's kind of just sat like behind her, like up against the wall. And she's it's almost always like near within arm's reach of her. But as she says, I don't know. I'm thinking I might find some place to learn something other than just hacking away at trees or other things.
Ribeiro's just gonna smirk at you. Didn't think you were the one kind to set down roots and make a family.
Never said nothing about a family. I just said something about I don't know, learning something. Shit, as it
Well,
stands, I already as she shakes her head. You probably wouldn't know it looking at me. I read and write 4 languages. My ma was pretty particular about that sort of thing.
well, I might not be able to teach you much that you don't know, but if you like, I can always teach you more about the clergy and all the gods. Of course, I could also go about teaching you boxing or how to throw javelins.
I'll have to consider it. Never exactly been godly myself. In my line,
I
we tend to pick up some worship gods or Rastal, depending on the season, but no, never really seen much benefit to the whole religion thing outside of maybe people like yourself who get more from it than most.
I can't disagree with that.
As I'm kind of glancing over at oh no, Sebastian isn't at our table, is he?
Nope.
Yeah, no, so I wouldn't notice anything. See, Amy's just sitting there chit chatting. We can cut over to Sebastian and his drugs. Hey, just be a party player. Maybe come over, share a line with your favorite half orc.
Hmm.
Hmm.
All right, so
At that point, I'm gonna leave.
at what point are you gonna leave?
After I pocket whatever it is and finish that drink.
Yeah, that's a mighty good sleight of hand. Yeah, casually get GTFO.
Yeah.
He's done this before.
He knows the drill.
See, if we weren't doing the background skills, like I wouldn't even be able to do sleight of hand.
Oh fuck! Sorry, Argentum. I don't know. Was it on?
I
the
told
character
him.
creation? Okay. All right. Cool. I need to put that in there. I keep forgetting. Anyways, carry on. What is Sebastian doing? GTFO and where? To the party or back to the fucking
back
Jackanapes?
to our the other inn.
Oh, you're going to the Jackanapes? He's just casually whistles and fucking leaves. Like,
Yep.
And gone.
Yeah. You get the drugs in one tavern, then you do the drugs in another. That's just how you do it.
Oh, I don't even know they're drugs.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, so after about an hour and a half after initially finding the jobs, if Asp doesn't notice anything else strange, he'll just take off.
Other than like a couple of like ruckus howls of cheer, from the room to your north, like and some people coming and going, like nothing really stands out. I don't think. Hold on, let me look at the roll. Yeah, nothing really stands out. No.
Do I notice anything odd about this gentleman who's been going back and forth?
Well, he just came. I mean, he came out of that room. Like, I mean, he's a dwarf. I don't know if that's considered odd, but you got one at your table.
Oh yeah, no, I mean more like just he looks like he's a guard or something because his picture kind of looks like he's wearing armor.
I mean, well, okay, so like he doesn't look like he's wearing peasant clothes like anybody else. Like he looks a little bit more well off, if you would think that. Like the tokens themselves are representations. You know what I mean? But they're not like.
That's why I was
100%
asking. I wasn't
exact.
assuming.
Yeah, if you were to ask, like, does anybody stand out? You've seen, like, you know what I mean? If you really want to play it, like, I want to know if somebody stands out. You notice this halfling and this dwarf don't wear the common clothing. You saw some guy leave earlier that was human that looked like he had better. I guess I'm gonna say like is either more wealthy or. You would think that maybe they're wearing what do you call it? There's stuff you put under armor that's like I forget the padding. I think it's not the padding. That's not the right word.
A gambeson?
Maybe, I don't know if that is what it is. So you as soldiers can kind of tell like a couple of people here like aren't just your traditional worker. Yeah, like I would be okay with playing it that way.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't say that, and I just kind of like it's more just a mild bit of paranoia because we are being hunted.
Oh yeah.
So if I
sure.
see somebody in armor, I'm keeping an eye on them, especially if they come close. Like,
yeah.
do I gotta stab this dude? Is he coming for? Kind of gimmick.
The only people that would come, that come in here in armor would be guards when they get off of work. You've seen a couple of guards come and go, but like nothing stood out to you, town guards.
Yeah, sounds good. So yeah, no, Amy would just be sitting down, having a few drinks, sharing some, more mundane stories with the others, and yeah, going on about the night. She has kind of keep an eye out, see if there's any other half orcs around, just like in the mild hope, but so far has probably not seen a single one.
No, not as of yet.
Yeah, so just going on about the night.
Okay. That being said, you said Asp you would be leaving too if nothing happened after about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. Who? I'm just gonna throw you in there just because. Well.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, that messes your vision up, don't it?
It's all right.
Just in case. It's fine. I just because I have visions on all your tokens, so technically I can see both rooms when I do that, and I kind of forget that you don't. I don't want you to just sit in a small square room. So that being said, Amy Argentum and Riberio, the night will go on a little like longer. You know, I'm assuming you know Amy has self-control, Argentum and Riberio. You know, you're not getting out there, so we're not making con checks, but you know you're having a good time.
Yeah.
Eventually, hold on, an hour and a half. Okay. Hold up. One sec. Jesus Christ. Okay. So, like, the door to your north. This is about a half an hour after Asp leaves.
Sure.
The door to your north, like, has been like people have been really cool and calm about it. But like then the door kind of just bursts open, and you see a surly dwarf come stomping out, and he turns back, and that's the last time you cheat me, Leyland. And he says, "Fuck you," and he just starts to fucking storm out, and he leaves. The door's like half open, like the elf in there is just kind of like looking over, like he gets up and he comes to the door and he shuts it, and he goes back.
Sips on his ale.
Suppose they're just gambling in there. Drugs.
It's always drugs with you, Amy.
No, so I suppose they're gambling in there. That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
This is like, that's like, okay, yeah, that's the proof, that's what's going on. It's not always drugs. Sometimes it's violence.
Sometimes.
Just tonight's drugs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm off. I'm going to go lay down by the forge.
Okay, so you go back and stay with Riggs?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Sam is just kind of looking over at Barrio. I think I should be heading to bed as well. We got work to do tomorrow. See you in the morning, old man. He gives him like a half-hearted chuckle as she gets up to leave.
Okay. So you leave. Riberio, about how long do you stay?
Stay for another hour or so, just kind of enjoying himself.
Okay. Do you just stay at the table, or do you try to like walk around and mingle, or are you just kind of
He'll mingle. He'll mingle.
Okay.
He'll head over like to the bar and stuff.
Okay. I've tried to like make like as time goes on to make sure like the tokens aren't like just all there, so different people can kind of appear.
Come and go, comings and goings.
It is hard to keep up with all that with a fucking like a multitude of tokens. All right. You come sit at the bar. Obviously the barkeep will look at you like kind of give you that like everybody gives that person that's just a fucking hulking specimen of a man, especially in his like older years. This kind of just shocked look of and you could easily recognize that like that look of self doubt, that self-reflection, and what did I do with my fucking life? Why
is what I could have been. That is what Kyrgyz does to people.
Yeah,
this is your life on Kyrgyz.
You're a triggering aspect of that kind of mentality that people have, and whatnot.
Especially with this man, my
So
Rigard is just like, man, I could have had a full head of hair. I could have been, oh man.
Yeah. Rigard will like pour you a drink and kind of look you up and goes like, you seem like a man that has a story, and then you'll notice the halfling kind of like who wasn't really playing so much, just sitting and drinking, sees you come and sit, and Rigard regards you, and he'll come walk over as Rigard's saying that, sit down.
I have a few.
Well, I'm a collector of stories, says the halfling. The name's Edgren Galesung. He pulls out, kind of, gives you his hand.
He shakes it and just say, "Yeah, you can just call me Riberio."
Riberio.
It's
It's
I don't know how well you can
from?
work it. I'm from a far off. I'm from a. I can fucking remember where I had him raised. I actually had it written down, and fuck, now I can't remember. I had it written down, and I forgot to add it to his history. Crap.
Well, unique names are unique names. So
Yeah, sorry, it might not be so easy to put into song. He just chuckles.
he says, "Oh, see, that's where I have a way with words. Just ask all the ladies here." And then, like, upon that, he just kind of looks around his files. He says, "With a man of your stature," kind of waves his hand flamboyantly at you. You tell me now, or could you tell me of your greatest adventure, so might that I entertain the people with a song? I just need a couple of lines, and I could immortalize you in word."
Well, I could. I can think of one at least. You see, this was when I was younger, and he'll tell about the time where he actually witnessed Kyrgyz competing, and then eventually, when 4 years later, he actually stood in those same that same wooden podium. Uh, kind of how he came to worship Kyrgyz.
Okay.
It's that one is listed out in his history, specifically. So
Okay. He says, to lay eyes upon a god. Sometimes it's mind.
It was a surprise to say the least, and since that day I have followed Kyrgyz. Well, it's turned me into the man you see before you. Made a small name for myself over the years in competitions, but I don't think I'm not quite to the point of being nation famous or even world famous, but a small name nonetheless.
The guy at the bar kind of overhears you and says, "So you're telling me you've seen a god?"
When I was young, it's always rumored that he comes down and competes along with his worshippers and competitions and such, and I was lucky enough to be witness to one of them.
He just kind of like gives you a look, shakes his head, and just like goes back into his drink. Like, not so much dismissively to you, more in like, he couldn't fathom what he would do if he had a god, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
these people are backwards. He says, okay, so as you're saying, as you're talking to him, Edgrid, he starts to kind of like, you see him kind of start to like, dictate a couple of words, and here and there, he's, Roberto Kyrgyz, and then starts to like, quote the deeds, stuff like that, and then he starts to get a, oh, okay, so what he'll do is, he'll say, "All right, I've got it. Rigard, get Mugavel, and I'll get him singing." Like, Rigard kind of like grunts, like, and just like, pulls an L out, gives it to him, and he'll start to go into like this, kind of a little bit of your history, but he'll obviously emblemish it, and he's fairly competent at like catching a rhyme and getting people going. He starts to walk around singing his song, bumping a person here or there, slamming his mug down and whatnot. And by the end of it, he's probably got like 3 or 4 choruses and whatnot. He's got the pretty much the whole tavern fucking just cheering along with him because he'll use a repetitive chorus, and after about the second time, you kind of get the nod from him. He'll nod kind of to people and slowly kind of go about it, and they'll all get into it. And basically, it's a pretty good drinking song that he kind of come up with off the cuff. And at the end of it, everybody cheers. Who was singing. You got a couple of people that just want to be drunks and not be a part of a
Right.
but pretty much impressive enough. His piano playing like that was even more so. So. He goes, "There you are, Sir Riberio. You have been immortalized in song here at the Sitting Duck."
Well, I must thank you.
He kind of gives you like he puts his head down and flicks his fingers off his head. It is nothing. Just remember the name.
For sure.
And then he goes about and he goes back to kind of fiddling with the keys and whatnot. Laura will come out and she'll kind of give you a smile and like nudge you as she's walking by to start serving the patrons and whatnot.
As long as I'm in town, I'll have to come by here once in a while. It's a fun bunch you got here.
"You're always welcome if you have coin," says Bergen behind the bar.
Of course, and he'll pay for his drinks and start heading out.
All right. So I am going to control flash you. All right, everybody goes to their respective places for the night. I will go to Sebastian and Asp, doing that at the Jackanapes.
Yep.
And our
Riberio isn't quite there yet.
We're putting him in the corner. Put yourself in the corner if you don't feel like you're there yet. I'm going to let you RP this out. I'm going to use the bathroom. Oh, here, I'll give you the information. Hold on.
I was about to say, we don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
it's
no.
a small package that I paid a gold piece for.
Doing drugs. Beautiful.
Yeah, you, at the tavern, you're gonna bring your drugs back to this place where you're sleeping, because that's what you want to do. That's what you want Jack to come down and y'all fucking have drugs. The hell out. No, I'm just messing with you. I'm not gonna.
I mean, I don't know they're drugs.
I mean, hey, you guys were making
not
fun
an
of me for the
alchemist.
first day being work, and now you're doing mysterious drugs on the first day.
Again, I don't know they're drugs. I'm not an alchemist. I know there's some shady shit going in this town, and this is one of those shady things. So,
what would that be the skill roll under for something like that? Either knowledge local or the
Perception,
to
spellcraft.
know what it is.
Yeah, to know what it is.
The same as identifying a potion.
Well, it depends on what it is.
Yeah,
actually.
it's just a common drug, or not. I wouldn't say common. It's common to this area, but it wouldn't be common to somewhere else. But it is a drug.
So
it's a pouch
if
of
it's
snuff.
naturally
is what it
found,
is. Yeah.
if it's naturally found, then it would be like alchemy or survival or knowledge nature.
Wouldn't it be the same roles as a magic potion, which is perception or spellcraft?
If it's magically created, then it would be spellcraft could be added.
Yeah, it's not. It wouldn't. This is just a drug. It wouldn't be magically created. No.
If
would be
but
more,
if it's just
it'd
a
be
common
like herb, yeah.
local drug that everybody knows about, the knowledge local could potentially figure that out too.
So pretty much like that's what you're gonna have to. We'll go off with knowledge.
But then there's also hands.
Or I would say herbalism or alchemy maybe.
Yeah, craft alchemy is usually the thing that normally does it.
You could probably use heal after you did it.
Yeah, after you took the drug, you could use heal to figure out what it was.
There you have what it is. You and him could discuss it. I'll be back.
Got to figure out how to use that. How to figure out what that is first, though. Well, once Asp walks in, I guess I'll. We're not going to do this on the main floor. So I'll ask if we can go somewhere more private to discuss something that I've discovered.
Asp looks around the empty room.
There's
Is
somebody here. There's a bartender here.
all right. Let's just step outside then. What is it?
I'm gonna pull it out and hand it to you. See if you know anything about it. I do not have the skill to figure out what this is.
Asp takes a look at it. Ash, what skill check is it?
Well, I mean, I guess I could try knowledge local. He said, like alchemy or spellcraft wouldn't do anything.
Ash?
He's not here. Yeah, see, if I roll a knowledge local to think of local drugs, like that's the highest I could get.
Well, Asp glances at it and shrugs. We could stop by the herbalist tomorrow. Where'd you get it?
From our waitress.
Ah, so that's what she was dealing. Well, all the same, we could stop by the herbalist. I don't really feel like partaking, so he passes the packet back to Sebastian.
Yay. Rugs.
All right, if there's nothing else, I mean, enjoy. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah,
And Asp
I didn't
will,
even know there was an alchemist in this town.
There isn't an alchemist here. There's an herbalist.
An herbalist.
They're different.
Close.
Well, there's nothing else. I think I'll turn in. We've got an early morning ahead of us. And a long trip.
Hey, pretty one. What you doing?
Okay, I think, I mean, I'm good at this point. I don't know if Ash is still around. I think our next call is the morning when we depart for the north. Maybe stop by the herbalist to identify the powder.
I think. Well, weren't we going to take some odd jobs here in town? Like we're going to go guard that person prospecting, then we're going to go gather some wolf pelts, and then deal with the one boar. I think we want to make a journey north. We probably want to get a
Yes, yeah. So I'm assuming that the notice board has the explanations for who, what, and where, and
Yeah.
we can just do it as we depart.
Yeah. Because we'd have to return to get paid, obviously. But yeah. God, I think if we'd actually fought those wolves instead of scaring them off, we'd have a big payday right now. Ah well, but we didn't get chewed on, so I'll take that as a win.
Hindsight is 2020.
In fairness, I think we would have lost that fight. Wolves are scary.
But hey, 2 sessions, no combat.
Yeah, so far so good for people on the run. Doing all right.
That's right.
Yeah. Roberio, when he walks back in, he'll be humming the song that was written about him.
I was here for, I think, the wolf part. Yeah, like I feel like with 4-hour sessions every week, like especially later on when you get higher levels, like you know how much time combat eats up.
Yeah.
Often I find combat in the earlier levels is a lot longer than later, just because later it turns into a rocket tag.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know what you're doing, your turn shouldn't take that long, right?
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Usually once you're high levels, it's just a matter of who goes first.
Yeah, like it's if you have two like 10th level wizards, whoever wins initiative is probably gonna win. Or even with 10th level fighters, just whoever gets to hit first gets to start the rock attack. But yeah, no, it is what it is. It shouldn't combat shouldn't take too long. This group seems like we all have a pretty good understanding what our characters do.
Okay, I guess if we're pausing here for the week.
Yeah, if Amy has to go, then let's do that. That way we're not pushing too much forward. I wanted to give you a chance to get some extra time because my missing last week. Once again, apologize for that.
Yeah. Usually I could stick around longer. It's just I have to go grab lunch right now. I overslept. It's why I was late for the game, so I missed breakfast.
Okay, well, let's end it on Roberio. You guys, I'm assuming y'all's conversation's over because you were talking about out-of-game stuff. I don't want to jump into, and take it off. But yeah, Roberio comes in humming a song. I don't know how late you guys are going to stay up if you're going to make sure he gets back. I'm assuming y'all think he can take care of himself. He's proven he can take care of himself.
Yeah.
Either way, if there's anything else, like I said, we'll end it here and we'll start the next morning. And I'm assuming you guys have a plan of action tomorrow into looking into some things. I will give you more clear details on that. I wanted to make a handout for you instead of just telling you these things, but I will provide you a handout with those and then the other things if you want to investigate other chances. Okay.
Yeah, so our plan was to stop by the herbalist to identify the powder, and then head north out of town. Asp wanted to stop by what's his face?
Payday.
No, payday is 2 days away. He wanted to stop by Charveros' house, and then
Oh yeah.
we could probably head up north and do those jobs along the way before we hit the lumber camps. And yeah, I think that'll take us to the next leg of our adventure.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I will be fleshing out the rest of these handouts for you, too. So, other than that,
Sure.
if there's anything else, like I said, let's see. I don't think there's not gonna be a lot of room for roleplay in case of roleplay happens because it's gonna end here and start the next morning. So, I'm talking about in the text channel. So, yeah. Other than that, like I said, I will end this session here. I'll end the recording, and I do, like I said, I plan on uploading them, but I don't know when I'm going to get to editing them. Then
No worries. I was actually about to ask.